It felt like this whole thing was gonna be over. But it's not.
There's more comedy in the second season, I feel like, and there's more, we're moving towards more community and finding justice. So, yeah, hopeful, for sure.
When I first was cast in 13 Reasons Why, I had a private Instagram account, and I think up until that point I'd always been very adamant that I wanted to be an actor purely for the craft. You know, I didn't want to be cast based on like followers or anything like that. But it wasn't until I think the show was released that I realized the potential that social media had, particularly in regards to the content of the show and the story that we'd told. And I think after I realized that, that's when I went public. And you know, I'm not super active on social media, but I did find it important to have a presence, just to be there for people who either resonated with the story or who resonated with Hannah. And overall, I don't know, I aspire to just be a positive space on social media, if anything, because sometimes I think that there are so many profiles and social media can be so chaotic and overwhelming that if I know I can use my platform and my profile just to be like a safe, positive space for other people, then that is kind of the benefit I see in it.
No, I don't feel pressure at all. If anything, I feel grateful that I get to be a person that people feel like they could speak to about what has happened to them. And if they connected with Jessica's storyline, that's all I really wanted.
Yeah, I think that's a huge key to the storytelling of the show is, you know, I mean, like if you see something, say something, or be there for others, or be careful of how you treat others, and pay attention to them and pay attention to what's happening around you. Yeah, I think that's really important. Yeah, if that's what you mean, right?
Yeah, I feel like we touched on that in the first season too, as being a bystander. I think it's I hope people watched it and took away that if you see something, do something. I actually work with It's On Us, which is an organization that goes to colleges to talk specifically about bystanders and like doing something if you see something.
You don't know what was happening in this photo. And you don't know what happened after.
We're all in this together now.
Don't you know about what goes on at this school?
This is proof of who they all are.
The truth doesn't always make things right.
It's gonna keep happening. It doesn't stop.
I hope young women who have gone through similar experiences after watching it will be able to reach out to someone that they love, if they haven't been able to talk about it openly, because the second you start talking about it, it gets a little easier. I hope boys will understand that they have a responsibility, that they could shift the culture of how we treat women collectively.
There is nothing left worth having except justice for our daughter.
Absolutely. I think you should never underestimate what someone is trying to convey based off of age. I mean, if you're an adult and there's someone who's younger than you expressing concern or showing signs of feeling lonely or whatever it may be, you should absolutely listen. I mean, I don't think the show is trying to like teach a lesson to anyone of any age, but it's just hoping to make people more aware and maybe make people think about their personal lives and the actions that they take or others around them, you know. But yeah, I mean, however anyone feels is completely valid no matter what your age, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the big takeaway parents took from this, at least what they've said to me, is that by watching the show they understand how different the experience is for teenagers today because of internet and social media, and definitely it's parents and kids have been able to have more of an open conversation about what's going on, and that's all we really want to do, is for kids and parents to be able to talk.
I can't count on anyone else anymore. I have to do this myself. You don't. No one's gonna get justice for her.
Oh, I think there needs to be gun control in America for sure. We have a really big gun problem. I mean, there's been already so many school shootings in America, like probably, I don't know, what is it, only April? And there's been over 100, I think, so it's bad. We'll see. I mean, the second season, I'm not sure what I can talk about, but you guys will see. You'll see. You'll see.
I think that, you know, season 1, you know, it's one story, but it addresses so many issues that are both relevant and prevalent to a lot of people. And I think the beauty of the show is that it has so many characters and so many narratives that people can identify with or relate to depending on their own personal context, that it's made it really accessible and a really good way to start talking about certain things. And I think although season 2, for me as Hannah, was different, one thing that we've done is, you know, continue the dialogue from season 1, and I think another thing we've done that was really important also, in addition to that, is continue the storyline and the narratives of other characters. You know, there's so much that happened in season 1 that is still yet to be addressed, predominantly, you know, the healing and recovery overall of the community, but also to Jessica, and that in reference, you know, specifically to sexual assault and or Never Again and Me Too and these kinds of movements.
How far does the dark